But because we love church so much and we love people so much, for us as pastors, we cannot possibly do it on our own. It's impossible. And I know when I came home at lunchtime today, I'd sat at the tables and I'd try to meet as many new people as I could, and it was quite funny. I thought, I'm so hungry, and I thought, I'll go and I'll get a bit of pie. And so I'm just getting up out of my seat where I've been talking to some new people, and I went to get a piece of pie, and somebody grabbed me. And so I went and I sat down at this table, and in my diary I've got 5 new lots of names of people that want to be part of something in this church. One of them wants to be involved in 4 lots of prayer. One of them wants to, 4 of them wanted to, 3 of them wanted to be involved in the new ladies' Bible study groups that we're starting, and one wanted to offer her home. And I thought, it's an amazing thing. There are people in this church that so want to serve God. Yes. And what we have to do is simply what Pastor Clark said. We just have to get alongside them, and we've almost got to make the way clear for them. We've got to make opportunities available. We've got to believe in them. Believe in them and encourage them that they can do it. Because sometimes, it's a bit like kids at home. They take their home for granted. And they don't realise sometimes when other kids come to that home that they've got their eyes wide open and they're thinking, like Clark just said, somebody God blessed me. Well, what you and I all do, that's really what we do. And we're not asking one of you to do something that you don't do already. What we're going to try and do is just, structure isn't a dirty word. It's actually like the skeleton without structure of any kind. We're just like a jellyfish. And Jesus said, as he was about to go to the cross, Father, those that you've given me, I haven't lost one of them. Now, we all have times when we say some things that maybe we wish we hadn't said, or we say them in the wrong way. We are not perfect people. And so for us, even in our role as under-shepherds and pastors, we're going to deal clumsily with people at times. But because we're going to serve and because we're going to do it in love, we're going to be people that are prepared to not stand there and say, look, I know it all and I'm telling you what to do. Never anything like that. It's no, look, how can I get alongside you in love? I want to tell you just a funny little story. You won't thank me for telling it, but Peter, somebody just got hold of me during the week, one of the really good ladies, and she's a mum on her own, a lady on her own, and she said, look, I really need some stones that are moved in my house. And she said, do you know anybody that's got a trailer? Well, of course I know Peter's got a trailer. And she said, look, they're just a few stones and they just need to go from my place at Carina to Campbell. So I mentioned it to Peter, and of course Peter said, yeah, okay, I'll do it, and he rang her up. Well, he got out really early one morning, he picked up these stones and he came back and they'd filled his trailer up, and he said to me, they're not just going to Campbell, they're going to Cleveland. So we went out at 6:30 on Friday morning on his day out. He went out there and he was doing just a little bit of, how did you get me into this? Well, that's what a good wife does. But anyway, he went out to this other lady that was a really good lady on her own, and he put these stones in, he had to barrow them a long way, and it took him an hour or so to take them there. And, he just did that. But there was a young man, the young man Benjamin Meebus, that plays the violin in church, that lovely young man, and he came to me today and he said, Jan, I live in the unit opposite this particular lady, and he said, I was teaching 2 students yesterday, and he said, I looked out the window, and he said, I said to the mother of these students, come and look, come and stand at the window here with me. And she came and she stood there, and he said, that man's one of the greatest pastors and evangelists I know. And she said, well, what's he doing, shifting stones? And he said, that's what the pastors in our church do. They help people.
Good on you, please.
That's what it's all about. There's only one rung in the ladder of success in the church, and that's servanthood. And so it's never, I'm being put upon and I'm being asked to do more than what I can do. No, we will do our best to try to look after you. And look, we will fill you in on the details, but let me just tell you very briefly, as well as the 3 area pastors, I look after the ladies. So those of you that we've got as pairs, as couples, you possibly will come under my leadership, and I will help you and show you some of the things that we're going to do to help pastor the women within the church. We also have the over 50s that Peter and Esther Helverson look after. We have the youth that Andrew and Alison Stone look after, and we have the young adults that Ken White looks after. So between us all, we've got a really great experienced pastoral staff but we so need you. Like I have to say, when I got home today from church, I'm driving home and I'm just feeling so white. Not because I've met people, but because I know I can't meet all those needs by myself. And what I was aware of was all the other new people that I know were there that I could see out of the corner of my eye, and I couldn't get to them. And see, we only have a certain window of opportunity when people come. And if that person comes and they have not been approached by somebody, why would they stay? Because they've got felt needs and they come to church to meet the God that we've been talking about. So we've got Pastor Clark and Ann, and then we've got all the area pastors, and then we're appointing some over-shepherds, and they're men and women that have been out in the field for a long time, and they're very used, they know what it is to take the knocks, they know what it is to be able to listen to the heartaches that you might have as under-shepherds. And what we've got 49 under-shepherds. Not everybody is here today, that's why we're videoing it. So we've got 49 under-shepherds. And what we also have in the church that helps knit people in, we've got a music ministry, that's a whole worship department, creative arts department, and there's a lot of people that are involved within that. We've got the deacons that a lot of people serve in. We've got home cells, and I'm looking to start about 18 ladies' home cells that will just share around the Word of God for about an hour weekly and train people and give them a foundation of the Word of God. And then we've got children's church that people are involved in. So what I just want to say to you is that really what we're asking you to do is look to be more like foster parents and adoptive parents. We're looking for you to get around people's lives and get to know them, have fun with them, as Clark's saying. You don't have to get too deep with them. You've got people that if they've got really big problems, you can just offload it to them. We just want you to be a friend to them, get to know them, pass the details on to us. Yes, there will be reports. But reports are a really great thing, and they'll be so easy. They'll have people's names on. All you have to do is tick them, hand them in every week to us. We'll put them through the system. We'll get a photograph taken of them. And we want to be like Jesus was, that said, Father, those you've given us, we've not lost one of them. So as Clark said, we'll be writing to you. We'll be letting you know. The only thing we won't accept is your resignation before you start. Because we so need you to help build this church and carry the move of God that we are in. And I know that you're here because God's people are willing in the day of His power, and God puts that willingness within us. And if we rub you up the wrong way, especially me, if I come across and say, look, this is what I want you to do, just come and see me. Somebody's already approached me tonight and said, did you say this, did you do that? Yes, I probably did. But if we've got love in our heart, and if our motives are right, then God is going to use us to help build and extend His kingdom.
Does anybody have any relevant questions to our topic tonight? If you do, we endeavour to answer them. There being no further questions, the meeting was closed.
I love it.
And to those of you watching this by video, we just want to thank you for being under shepherds, and you're part of this whole meeting tonight.
Yes.